My, my. My name is Jeremy Charpentier, French Canadian, 50-year-old Generation Xer from upstate New York. Uh, Wait, let me start this over. I gotta start this over. I forgot to start recording. Okay, so anyway, my name is Jeremy Charpentier, 50-year-old Generation Xer, geek, musician. Um, this morning I woke up and obviously I wouldn't be here today if I didn't wake up. I'd still be sleeping. Um, and I thought, where's my Twitch stream at? It's a thought that I have quite frequently because it seems like I'm always concerned about growth. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about growth. Obviously, if you see my hair, there's been some growth there. Um, I've been listening to some of the feedback on the streams that I've had, and someone's noticed that the backdrop may be like a little too much. Maybe there's a lot going on, so trying to grow my stream. So I did a little internet research, and I found a site. It said how to be successful as a Twitch streamer. I really wish that I had read this before I started streaming, but I didn't because that's just how I roll, and that's how a lot of people around me roll. It's like when all else fails, read the directions. It's an ass backwards way of doing things, but for whatever reason, that seems to be our modus operandi, if you will. So I'm looking up. I found this one site. Be yourself and find your niche. I will quote this for anybody that wants to look at it yourself. It's from a site called dmarket.com. Dmarket, all one word, dmarket. Playing games on streams and earning enough money to be independent of any other job. It may sound like a dream, but it has already come true for many guys and girls using Twitch. It has, and you know what? There was an allure to it for me as well, where I was like, wow, maybe a guy like myself could do that because I played guitar my whole life, sang in bands my whole life. I've been in cover bands my whole life. I've written songs. I like to record songs that I've written and have them played back. Uh, and I never really seemed to have like a platform for it. And then when the pandemic happened, it seemed like everybody and their sister was going to Twitch, and I had a friend ask me, you know, why aren't you on Twitch? And I said, well, you know what? I think there's a ton of competition there. Everybody's doing it. It seems like it's a saturated market. All like a bunch of excuses, really. And I didn't know that much about it, so the seed was planted, and I was like, maybe I should. So I started researching the whole Twitch thing, but not in depth, but enough to know that you basically get an account, you sign in, and you talk or you play music or you whatever you do, that whatever your thing is. So it forced me to look at what's my thing, what's my thing. I try to. I like to tell jokes. I like to talk. People have told me that how many times that I talk and talk and talk and talk, and I'd be like, maybe I should have been a talk show host. Maybe I should have been like the next Larry King or something. But like I didn't have an outlet for it. So Twitch seemed like it'd be perfect because I could come on when I wanted, I could say what I wanted, play what I want. I could do pretty much almost whatever I want. Problem is I didn't really have a place to do it. So a couple months ago, I started doing it just in like a little bedroom, and it was pretty neat, you know. And I got some people to stop by, and I made some friends, and those games we played. We still play together. We play Rocket League. We play Fortnite. We talk. We keep up. But then it seemed like that whole group of people just went on and they're doing something else now. So I realized like it's up to me to constantly grow the stream so that there's. And I said this to somebody one time. I think it was another streamer. I said I'd rather have 20 streamers. I'd rather have 20 followers that I talk to regularly than people that just stop by and leave. But this article's given me some growth, and it's making me realize that I don't have control over what people do. I only have control over what I do in my content. That's the only control I have. And I learned this from being in the cover band business. Like, if you're a musician and you play and you're playing well and people leave, sometimes it's not your fault. And if you sit there and say, "Oh, they left, what did I do?" I mean, you could start thinking everything you do is bad, and it's never really the case. No one ever does everything bad. So what I've been trying to do is when I do the streams, I record the video, and then I'll go back and I'll watch the video, and I'll look for growth. So I'm hoping that like someday, if the stream gets bigger, and God forbid I become a real popular streamer, I'll have video footage of the journey from when I had nobody to when I had my first 10 you know what I mean? Like when you're a kid, your parents like save stuff for you. They say here's his baby's first steps, and here's upstairs I got in the bathroom there's like a growth chart. You know what I mean? Like there's a young lady up there. She might be 13 now, 11. I don't know, but you can see the notches in the bathroom door of like here she was at 6, and here she was at 7, and here she was at 8, and you can see the growth periods. You know what I mean? So that's why I started recording myself, so that later on I can see the growth periods. And you know what? I have seen them now. Like I'm up to 123 followers now, and I remember a point where I was just struggling just to get 50. And, it's not a tremendous amount of people. And like I said, only 20 of them might be engaged in watching or chatting or either. I call them hit and runs. They stop by, they go, I want to follow this guy, and then like every time you stream, they don't even. And then I start thinking like, oh, is it me? Is my content terrible? So like it's a constant like interplay between like analyzing what I did, what I can control, and trying to improve on it. And I kept telling myself like, every time I sign in, I might get a streamer, I might get a follower, and after a while, it's like, okay, so now I can get followers, but then what do you do? What do you do after that? You still stream, you still do your best, and if they like you, they'll stay. If they don't, they'll leave. Sometimes it might not be whether they like me or not. They might just want to leave because maybe they're sick of Twitch. I mean, there's like so many reasons that are kind of important, but they're not. This site is basically saying, play games you really love. And I agree with that philosophy. Like, and this is why I'm doing the stream, because I want to show you what I was doing this morning. Is I went to I have a notebook. I actually have a Twitch notebook, and any research that I do about Twitch, like maybe what's happening on Twitch, trends is a good word. I think to follow growth, you have to look at trends. People do it in the fashion business all the time. They follow the trends. Technology. There's magazines devoted to technology trends. And as a musician, like I have to follow musical trends too, popular, culture trends. Who's popular, who's not, why are they popular? That whole thing, I is a whole nother, like, what do you call it, market and research and development, market insights and strategies, and and I have a cousin that I absolutely love, and he does this little podcast thing about marketing your business, and he talks about like key performance indicators. Like what are your key performance indicators? And then the other day he says to me, he goes, and everybody in the stream, he says, what are you doing for growth? And then I have a friend, Maria, out in California, who's a personal trainer, and she's constantly saying, like, what are you doing for growth? Like, what are you doing to get better? What are you doing differently today to help out yourself that you weren't doing yesterday? And I have a bunch of friends that are struggling with alcoholism, and I feel like they're going backwards. Like, they're always saying that they're doing well, but I feel like as long as they're drinking, they're not going forward, and that's not really true either. Like, there's a lot of productive people that are alcoholic, but like it comes to a point where you, like, if you drink too much and you're not growing anymore, like I was years ago, you have to stop the thing that's keeping you from growing. And I'm sober 7.5 years, and I'm seeing myself grow from the time I stopped drinking, and I realize it's kind of like being underwater in a way, and you're sinking, and you realize, okay, I'm gonna stop the thing that's weighing me down, and I'm starting to float to the surface now, and then after a while, like, you get to the surface, and then you get your head above water, and you're like, okay, good, I'm good, now I can start growing like I should have been. And that's kind of like where I'm at, and I just went upstate to help my father out. I was he had to get his truck in another town, and years ago I would have said, that's too far of a drive, I ain't helping you out. But I was just like, he's my dad, he's helped me out in a lot of ways, and I'm gonna go help him. So I jumped in the car and I went upstate, and he grabbed him in his car, and we went all the way down to freaking Salem. And I don't know why he brings his car down to Salem, but he does. I wouldn't. But it ain't for me to question, like, where he takes his car. And that's growth. I can't. Growth in me is like minding my own business. Growth with me is like worrying about my own growth and not somebody else's growth. Growth for me is like trying to be an influence instead of telling someone what to do. And the only way I can be an influence is I have to keep doing the right thing, and then somebody can see me doing it and go, wow, I'm kind of influenced by him. And so one of the things that I've done today just for growth is that I've been listening to some of the feedback of people that watch the stream, and some people do watch the stream, is the backdrop that I have. Okay. Now, I'm in a basement apartment. I love it. It's a great place to stream, but I had this whole open backdrop. So, in my research this morning about how to make a stream better, they were saying, what's in your backdrop? And I was like, oh God, I had a vacuum cleaner back there, and some other things that really just kind of don't belong there. When I'm cleaning the stream, when I'm cleaning the room, I got to put the stuff back. So when people stop by to the Jer show, whether I'm playing a game or playing music, the backdrop has to be, kind of decent. So I hung this blanket up. My mom made it for me. This blanket, and it's like it has music stuff on it and guitars, and I think it's kind of cool. It's got a piano on it. Everything that I do musically is on my backdrop, and it's a personal thing. It's not something that you can buy in the store. I mean, yeah, she bought it in the store and put it together, but it's kind of a little bit of a reflection of what I'm trying to do at the Jer Show. I'm trying to create things out of other things. Like, I'm a creative person. Just last night, I started reading this book about creativity, because I've always felt like I was a creative person, but I never really had like a direction. Like, I was all over the place. There were times in my life where I was focused and I could sit down and say, hey, today I'm gonna write a song, and I would write it and I'd record it and I'd be all happy. But it seems like in the last 10 years or so, I've just been so scattered that I haven't been able to like really focus to the point where I could get stuff done. And I want to know why. I'm like, why are other people getting stuff done and I'm not? Why do I always seem to have an excuse why, like, I don't have any productivity, or I have nothing to show for my efforts? Like, all I have is ideas and dreams, and they never manifest. Why? You know, and like, when I went to help my father the other day, I had to drive through a neighborhood, and in driving through the neighborhood, I was looking at this school that I used to rehearse in. I used to be in a band. It was a 4-piece band, and it was a kick-ass band. And then I drove past. There's a college up here in upstate New York. It's called ACC, Adirondack Community College. So I'm driving past Adirondack Community College, and I just had this flashback. When I was I don't know, it could have been 17 or 18, 16 or 17. I was a teenager. I didn't quite graduate high school yet. And I graduated in 1989, so it was like prior to 1989. I was in this band. It was a good band. And we rehearsed. We were playing stuff that like not a lot of other people were playing. It was kind of difficult to pull off. And here we were, teenagers, pulling it off. And I haven't thought about this for years. And you know, like, when people go on to do their vocations, their crafts, like let's say George Lucas, the guy who did Star Wars, right? They look back at his life and they do a bio and they go, George was always interested in this, and George went to this, and he always did this, and he always thought that this should be this. It forced me to go back and look at my life growing up. So basically, when I was in high school, before I graduated, I was in a band, and it was a pretty good band. We used to rehearse at that one place I drove by, and it brought back memories, you know, almost like a real life version of there's a Bryan Adams song called Summer of '69. I got my first real 6-string, you know, it was like a real life version of that, except it was a little different because it was my story. But I always thought, like, if you have a foundation like that of music, and you were in bands, and then you grow up later, wouldn't you like still be in bands if that's like your thing that you're interested in, or the thing that you're good in? And granted, like, I really wasn't the greatest musician around, but I really could hold my own in a lot of areas. I just needed some nurturing and some training and some direction. So here we were. I'm driving past the college, going to my father's house, and all these memories are coming out of we played. I'm not sure how we got into it, but every year the college had this show, and it was called Rocktoberfest. It was done in October, obviously, and they would pick bands from the area to feature. And we were like fresh off a win. We did a battle of the bands in this town called Warrensburg. Has an organization called 4-H, and they did a battle of the bands. And this band that was hot off winning that and confident, we went into the Rocktoberfest and we just blew the roof off the place. And I completely forgot this. And it was a time in my life that I can look back, you know, like my life has been intertwined with like not so good stories and good stories. And this Rocktoberfest story is definitely one of the threads that was one of the better stories in my life. And here I was driving to my father's house yesterday with the phone on and dictating what I could remember into the phone so that I could get more of an in-depth story to be able to tell people so that maybe they could get some inspiration from it or think, oh wow, that's a good story you just entertained me with. And for me too, you know. So I don't remember a lot of it, but from what I do remember, I talked into this phone yesterday, so now I have a good raw copy of it to work with. And I guess from reading this book about creativity and looking back at my own life honestly, I realized that I had the wrong ideas about creativity. That creativity isn't just something you do when you're done. Like, you know, it's not like breathing. You wake up and you go, I just created something there. It's over. It's more like a process that takes place. And the strange thing is, years ago I was doing it without knowing what I was doing or how I was doing it. But today I'm realizing that there is things that I can control if I want to create more. Is to be engaged in it. To start it, you have to start it. That's the hardest part sometimes when you want to create anything, is to just sit down and start. Because the brain can trick you. It can say, well, you know, this might not be the greatest. I even wrote a song about that one time. It was called Critical Mind. It was about how when you go to create something, what there's a mind up there that's very critical. It's some people call it the committee, where it's up there saying, why are you going to do it like that? What would you do it that way for? That's too fast. No, that's that part. No one will listen to that song. No one's ever going to play that on the radio. And then in the meantime, I'm watching these other videos about how there's a guy, his name's Rick Beato. I've been watching Rick Beato videos lately. He's a guitar player, keyboard player like me. But he was also a record producer. And he makes these videos called What Makes This Song Great? And it's been blowing my mind. I'm like so grateful to have found it, because some of the streaming that I've been doing musically, I've been playing songs a certain way, but apparently I haven't been playing them properly. And this guy plays them properly. So I'm looking at him do it properly, and I'm comparing it to the way I've been doing it, and now I'm forced to go back and fix the way that I learned it. And I'm realizing that I don't always learn songs the way they're written. And in some ways that's good, in some ways it's bad, because it's good in the way that I'm doing renditions of songs that end up being my own, which is what a lot of people try to do on Twitch, is be original. Like, you know what I mean? Like that whole article that I read this morning about streaming on Twitch has to do with being original. It's no different in music either. Like if I heard a band or an artist and I copied them because they were popular, everybody would know it. So they warn against that. Don't, if you want to have growth, don't copy. I remember I tried to do, I was doing comedy, trying to do comedy for a little while. And that was like the number one rule. Thou shalt not steal. Like if you're coming up with a bit and you think it's funny, it has to be yours. Don't, because if you, and I've seen comedians try to do this, pass off other people's work as their own. And people in the comedy industry know, they go, you didn't write that. That's a Bill Hicks joke or whatever, you know? I mean, imitation is the best form of flattery, but when you come out and just copy somebody, it never ends well. So yeah, you really just have to try to be original. So, in keeping the Twitch notebook about Twitch and its developments and maybe what I might need to be successful on Twitch, I really learned a lot this morning from this. So based on that, I have growth in my backdrop. I said, you know, I need to change this then. If when people stop by here, their eyes are focused on anything other than the content I'm trying to convey, then it's bad. So I'm looking around, I'm like, all right, move the vacuum, did that. I took a hook, put it in the ceiling, put another hook over there, spread the blanket out. Now the Jared Show has a guitar in the background and a nice little blanket my mom made in the background. So now it's kind of cool when you stop by. That's growth. The other day I had 2 Xbox machines. One was all digital, one was a disc version. There's a lot of things that I'd like to get done in my life, and one of them was I don't think I need 2 Xbox machines. The one I use works quite well. The other one is just there doing nothing. So I'm like, I was keeping it for a backup for a while. And I was like, this is silly to keep this for a backup for a while. I'm so afraid my Xbox might break down someday that I have to have another one. And it would suck if my Xbox did crap the bed, because I wouldn't be able to stream the games that I stream. But I said, well, I'm going to take a chance. So I didn't know how to wipe an Xbox. Wiping refers to when you take all the information off of a device, like a phone or computer or whatever. So I went on the internet, I looked it up. And I did a factory reset. And I took it all off. All the games I'd ever downloaded, I worried about how I should transfer them or not. And then I realized if you go in to Xbox, there's a screen there, and it shows all the games I've ever bought in my life. So I don't have to worry about transferring them. As long as I sign into my account, I can download those games. I bought them. I have them forever. Whatever Xbox I buy in the future, I download those games. So I'm like, so I don't need this. This is growth for me. And I turned it into money. I sold it. It was so funny. It was really funny. Because I realized that in life there's what they call supply and demand. That if something's hard to find, you could sell. You know, because I collect baseball cards too. And I know there's some rare ones. And there's some not so rare ones. The not so rare ones, no one cares about. You can't get money for these. They're just, you just have them because you like them. Can't resell them because everybody has certain years. So I knew that when I sold this Xbox game, there was a demand for it. I knew that as soon as I put it up there, it was going to be like dropping beef into a piranha tank. It was just going to be like, is it still available? Is it still available? You know, like 10 seconds after I put it up, it was like, is it still available? Is it still available? And I sat there just going, yes, it's still available. I just put it up. Hasn't even been an hour yet. Just hilarious. The first guy's like, hey, I'm from Galway, Johnstown. Can you meet me halfway? And I'm like, with my growth, I'm like, risk reward. Me driving all that way, gas, time, wear and tear on my car, to sell this for $100. I don't think I want to. It's not worth it. Especially, I was going to help my father drive, you know, to get his car. So basically, like, I realized that if these people had contacted me before I left, I could have taken the console with me in the car. And then I got all the way up to Whitehall. And so this kid called me, hey, I'm from Whitehall. You still have that console? Yeah, but it's in Queensbury right now. Oh. I said, I might be coming back up Sunday. Maybe I can bring it with me. So then I'm sitting there with my dad. You know, we're getting ready to leave. And all these other ones come in. The lady's like, can you go to Schenectady? And I'm like, Schenectady? Do you know how far Schenectady is from where I am in Queensbury? Like here's Queensbury on the map. And here's like 40 miles to Albany, maybe an hour drive, and then over here is Schenectady. You want me to drive an hour and a half to drop an Xbox off to you? That you're not even willing to meet me halfway? I'm just like, what? I don't think so. And they just kept getting worse. This one guy's like, I'll trade you. I got an iPad that was worth $500 originally. I'll trade you. And I said, nah, I'm not interested in trades. And he countered with, well, it's a really good deal. And I'm sitting there like, so finally I said, look, it probably is a really good deal if I was interested in a trade, but I'm not. So then he's like, I got $40. Can't do it, dude. I'm selling an Xbox, all digital, for $100 that I could get $75 for at GameStop. If all I got to do is drive over there and I can get it. But I want to get $100 because I want to sell it. Because I want to get half of what I paid for it. because it's a $300 console, brand new. It was, and I paid 150 for it. So I think 100 is a fair price, right? So I'm getting mad at this point because like he won't give up. He keeps thinking like I'm gonna change my mind and go, you know what? Even though I don't need an iPad, I'll trade you anyways. Like somehow his sales skills are gonna convince me that I'm the fool here for not trading, right? So finally I go, $100. It's yours. So he's like, does it come with a controller? And I'm like, I'm just like, leave me. At this point, I'm just like, leave me alone, please. I'm not selling you this. You're not. No. Then he plays the sympathy card. Well, I really want to get an Xbox for my dad. All right, I get that. So find another $60 and call. Text me back. So finally, I got this one guy from Wilton, which is exit. I'm at exit 19 on the Northway, and he's at exit 16. So he finally says, "If I come up from Wilton, I'll buy it." And here I am in Whitehall, and I'm like, I really just don't want to meet someone. I don't want to drive out of my way for $100. I don't have that kind of time. I got stuff to do. So I got this one lady from the town that I'm in with money, wants to meet me. And by this time it's like 7 o'clock p.m. my time last night. And I want to play some games. I want to go on and stream. I want my night of doing things, adult things, to be over with so I can go have some fun. And she says, "Can you meet me tomorrow morning?" And I'm like, "No, I can't. I'm sorry. I haven't been up earlier than 11 o'clock in 2 years. I'm a night bird. I'm not getting up at 8, 9 o'clock to make a special trip across town." I didn't say that. I gave her the short version because I don't want to be an asshole. So I'm like, I don't think I can. I have plans at 8:30. And if you want to do it tomorrow, we can, but it has to be in the afternoon. And I said, I got other people asking me about the console. Like I could literally sell it tonight if I want to go to Wilton. And I didn't. So she says, "Oh, okay, I'll meet you." So I'm like, great. So what am I going to do? From 8 to 8:30, I went online. I went on the Xbox. And I played a quick game of like Pac-Man or something. And Pac-Man was around when I was a teen. You used to put a quarter in and you had the stick and now I have it on right there in front of me to play it. I did the best I ever did in Pac-Man. It's a little harder on the console because when you used to play it, the arcade stand-up version, the stick was bigger, and you could maneuver it, and it would, with the little stick on the little stick console, like the little guy, it's a little harder. So, ask women; they'll tell you sometimes it's harder to handle a smaller stick. So what happened is sometimes when you go to cut and make the corners, you don't quite get there. And I can use that as an excuse, I guess. Maybe it's me, I don't know, but I did better. So there's been some even growth in Pac-Man for me. I've gone from 5,000 high score to 7,200. That's growth. And I believe that, like, happy and healthy communities, whether it's in your own house or if you're in a club or a group, I really believe that you celebrating growth is a great thing to do. It's just great for anybody involved in a relationship, whether it's a love relationship or just a friendly relationship, whether it's, you know, a grandmother, granddaughter, or uncle, nephew, you know, applauding growth is really good. I'm gonna give you an example. I play Rocket League. I love it. Oh my God, do I love Rocket League? And I was a stinker when I first started out, but I played and played, and I got better. And I went gold, and then I dropped down, and I went gold again, dropped down. And then I went back, and I had a week where I was struggling really, really hard trying to get back to gold. And if it wasn't for my friends stopping by saying, you'll get it again, and saying, hey, want to play? And I realized, like, I could hang with gold rank people and even diamond people. I could hang with them. So I realized, like, my rank doesn't really reflect my play. Like, I just was having, like, a rough time. And just playing with those people and having them support me, I got better up here. And it helped me, and I got back to gold again by people saying, good job, man. Like, and I think that's so important. Because I really think, like, I think I became a musician after hearing, like, multiple negative things. I won't say by who, but when you start hearing over and over again, like, that you can't do something, you start thinking you can't do it. And the guitar was a blessing to me. And music was a blessing to me because you had to learn it little by little. It wasn't the all or nothing ego thing that a lot of people are involved with in their life. I think half of society's problems today are from people's ego, right? And I'm no different. I had a huge ego. But the great thing about the instrument is once you start playing, you get humbled. All right? I could sit in my room and go do 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 do, and then I can show you, look what I can do. And then I'll hear somebody that's better than me, and I'll just be like, whoa. So basically, like, if you want to get to the next level with something, you just have to figure out what the next level is and be willing to have enough courage to overcome the struggle of the next level. Like, a lot of people stay at the same level and it's comfortable. They're like, that's it, I'm good. But I've realized, like, I can't have anything in my life better if I stay stuck. Like, I'll give you an example. I've been playing the piano all summer long. And years ago, I was decent. I could do chords, you know, but there were some things that I wasn't so good at. And I told myself, if I buy another keyboard, it has to be better than the one I used to play, which was kind of like a junker, like a little toy keyboard. That this time, if I bought a keyboard, it had to be above the level of what I was playing before. And that was growth for me. Now I have a better keyboard. Now I have a proper keyboard. Now I have 88 keys, weighted keys, and you can add different sounds to it, and they sound like a real piano. The keyboards I had before were kind of like toys, little Casio things, and you'd play them and it would be like, ugh. Just your ear couldn't really completely take it. And I thought, hey, I was the next Billy Joel, but I wasn't. So with the new keyboard, like I got growth, and now I'm taking lessons from people that are better than me. And that's one of the guy, what one of the teachers was saying, that if you want to be a better anything, you have to go from where you are. You have to reach. You have to go after something that's bigger than where you are. And I was hoping to talk about this today. People would stop by and we would talk about growth. Like, what have you done maybe in the last day or two or a week or two? Maybe in the last hour, what have you done that's above where you were before? Somebody asked me the other day that question, and I said, well, I used to drink soda all my life, okay? Missing some teeth now because of the sugar, a lot of sugar in soda, right? It makes you hyper. It's high levels of sugar is not good for anyone. Whether it causes, diabetic reactions or whatever. So I don't drink soda. I stopped drinking. If I might go to Taco Bell once in a while, maybe once a week. I'll get some food and I'll add a Mountain Dew. But that's like once a week. For the most part, I switched to sparkling water. I drink this stuff. It's called Aha now, and it's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's like a citrus flavor, and I've probably reduced my sugar intake by doing this. And it's done wonders for me. In the way I feel. I got more energy now. I don't have all this like fake sugar or whatever. My body trying to like digest all this sugar. So that's growth for me. So I want to hear some growth. I don't even care what it is. Say you were playing a game the other day and you went from this level to that level. That's growth. Maybe you changed something you were doing. I'll give you an example. I play Fortnite all the time. And I'm a decent Fortnite player. I can come into top 5 most of the time. I can get victory royales on my own as a solo guy, right? And I can get victory royales with squads, right? But one thing that I struggle with, and I admit it, is building. Okay, I was playing last night with my friend Eric till 2 o'clock in the morning, and we were playing these guys, and we get in fights, and these people could literally jump up in the air, build, land on top of the build, and then put a floor up, and do this in such a fashion that was so quick that we didn't even know what was going on. We were like, what the hell just happened? So if I want to compete and get more placing in the top 10, I have to go into creative and practice my creative. I have to go in there for a little while and just grind it out. Just build a house and, build that, build this. And I'm getting better. I can build decently now, I can build a ramp up and straight. I can build off the sides of the ramps. But when we were watching, I have it on video. We were watching this fight last night, and we just could not believe it. That these two people were going at it so hard that and it was building. It was like Okay, you built, well I'll build, and you built, well I'll build. Well, I'm gonna build over your build. Well, I'm gonna build around here, and I'm gonna jump off here, and you're gonna, and it just went on, and we were just dumbfounded. We were like, that's hours and hours of practicing building, just building, for the moment that you could get in a fight with somebody and be able to compete. So if I want growth in Fortnite, now I have to go practice in creative. Another example of growth is I play Rocket League a lot, okay? And I'm pretty good, but all I do is play 3v3, okay? And maybe that's hindering me, stopping me, slowing me down. And I've had people that I've met that follow the stream that play Rocket League, and they say you should play more 1v1s. I'm like, yeah, I know. Growth would be to wake up one day early and say, well, I got to work on 1v1s. I think I'll sign into Rocket League and work on the 1v1s. I think you know where I'm going with this, right? When the pandemic hit, everyone said, you know, your immune system. It attacks your immune system. It's an immune system disease. I said, oh God, okay, what could I take to boost my immune system? Because I don't, if I get this, I want to be able to fight it quickly. So they said vitamin D. So what did I do? I went to the store and I bought some vitamin D. That was growth. Then they said, well, certain amounts of vitamin D are probably good, and maybe some amounts are you have room to grow with your D. So where was I? I was on. They come in IU. It's like it measures the amount of vitamin, and I think I was on 400 IU, and somebody said, that's good, but you could go higher. So I went to 1,000 IU. That was growth. Did I get sick this year? No. Did I get the flu this year? No, I didn't. You know why? Because of growth. Because of growth. I used to have depression. I had it bad. I know. It just wouldn't go away. Somebody said, maybe you should get on some antidepressants. So I did that. That was some growth. And I watched people around me still suffer from depression, and they're like, yeah, I know, I should get those, but I don't know. My pride, it's too big. I don't think I can, I don't know. And they still suffer from depression, and I don't. Growth. And I don't tell them you should take them, because that's shoulding is a shaming thing. I don't shame people, but I try to live by example. I say, I'd rather somebody say, why are you so happy? Antidepressants, especially in this world we live in. So that's growth. I never would tell anybody that I was on antidepressants because I'd be too ashamed of what you'd think about me. But today I care less about what people think about me, so there's some more growth. I got a bird. I have a bird. I have a parakeet. I love him. I never thought I'd have a parakeet, so that's growth. When I first got him, he was shy and he was timid, and he wouldn't even. He was scared, as most parakeets are. And what happens is you have to develop trust with your bird. You have to spend time with the bird. So I started taking him out of the cage when I did stuff, and I involved them in my daily activities, like somebody suggested. And now I let him out of the cage, and he sits next to me, and he's all cute. He takes naps, and he sits up on the monitor. And that's growth. He was afraid of my finger for a while. Birds are like great when they get to know you, but they can't get to know you until they trust you. So little by little, slowly, I put my hand under there, and he would bite me. I'd be like, yeah. Years ago, if somebody bit me or hurt me, I would just lash back. You know what I mean? You hit me, I hit you right back. You can't do this with a little fragile creature like that. So he bit me, and I'd be like, ugh. And then I'd go back and I'd read the parakeet suggestions on how to get to how your bird could trust you. And they said when you put your finger under there and he bites you, don't pull it out. I'm like, are you kidding me? It hurts. So I just sit there and be like, and then like eventually I realized he's afraid of the finger part. Maybe if I put my hand under there and he could jump on the hand part. Oh, and then I did that one day, and then he jumped on my hand, and I was carrying him around with me. That's growth. And I like to share that growth with people. And depending on who you talk to about the growth, some people will be happy for you. And they're like, that's so awesome. And other people are just like, because they're not growing either. Like people that are growing are usually happy for other people's growth, but people that are just stuck and not going anywhere, miserable, they see you growing and they're like, none of my friends. But I just talked to one of my friends, my old roommate. I talked to him for a good half hour yesterday. I was going into Walmart. Wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I was going into Walmart. I was going to buy an upgrade to my monitor. I've had this monitor for years, a little 22-incher. You could hardly see it. And I just said, you know what? Everything else around me is growing. Everything around me is updating. Everything around me is getting better. I have the money now. Why don't I just upgrade this monitor? So I went to, there's two Walmarts in my area. I went to one of them. They had a display model, but they didn't have any more of the monitor in stock. And I was like a little upset. And the old me would have said, like, just went off. Like, I can't believe this place. Don't they know who I am? Blah, blah, blah. And I just said, all right, no, no big deal. Maybe I'll order it online. Maybe I'll go to the other Walmart and see if they have it. So I go to the other Walmart. But before I do, I run into my old friend and roommate. His name's Matt. He's a long hair like me. And I was like, get a haircut, you hippie. And my God, we talked for a while. We talked for probably close to 45 minutes. And I said to him, like, who does this anymore? Who gets together and like has a conversation anymore? Like, I feel like if people had regular conversations, they wouldn't have to talk for 45 minutes when they see each other again. And it's probably just me. It's me because I I'm kind of a loner. I kind of keep to myself, and I need to reach out more and talk to people, and just say, "How are you? How you been?" Problem is, half the people talk to me, they think I'm crazy, and they don't. Like some people actually understand me, and I love talking to those people. Other people are just like, "What's up with this guy?" And they'll never understand because they don't want to, and that's fine. But what I'm getting at is the art of conversation. I've said this so many times. I did a whole rant on this on Facebook one day, about a year ago. How the art of conversation seems to be lost. People used to just talk, say what was on their mind, and they support each other. And they, you have good things and you have bad things. You have, what they call woes or the blues. You're not feeling good about something. Sometimes you talk to somebody else and you feel better. And it reminded me of a time in my life that I really loved when I lived with this guy Matt and my friend John, and we had some roommates that were probably just as crazy as us, and we all used to live together in this house. We nicknamed it the House of Pain, and we still talk about it to this day, about our experiences like when we lived there. And then what we did was we compared those days to how we're doing now. Like back then it was about the partying, smoking cigarettes and smoking this and drinking, and and now it's like we're talking about how we're both sober, and how we've been going to the gym, and how we want to get back to the gym because the pandemic kind of stopped us going to the gym, but now that we have no excuse now. He's like, "Oh, I've been walking." And I'm like, "Well, see, that's growth. At least he's doing some physical activity to keep in shape." Me, it's biking sometimes. I have a mountain bike and I love it. And when it's nice out, I like today would be a perfect day. I can't even believe I'm sitting here talking to nobody. I should be out riding my bike, but I jump on the mountain bike and I get exercise. And you get to go up this one hill, and it's tough, but it makes a man out of you. When you get to the top, you're like, "Yeah, I did it." And then I want to tell people, "Hey, I just took the bike up to the top of the thing," and I'm expecting the whole world to be like, "No, go, Jim," and they don't. I get a few people that might say, "Good job, bro. Good for you." But then coming down the other side, that's the good part. So that's growth for me too, because I never used to ride a bike, but now I love it. Now I literally love to go, and I mean it's 3 o'clock p.m. in New York right now. That's the peak heat index, I guess, of the day. You could say, like, if all when you go through the day, you know, around here it might be like hot at 10, 11, and then it gets hot. It goes like this. 2 o'clock, the temperature's the highest. Then it starts to die down at like 3, like about right now. 4 or 5, it might come down a little bit more. So what I've learned is go in the morning when I can get up, or the afternoon before 2 o'clock. Because if you go and you get caught in this heat at 2 o'clock, it's horrible. It really is. I'm not. It's like you can. I could be hydrated. I could have all the water that I own in as much of the stomach that I can, and get up, and it's still like. So I try to do it at the right hours. So with me lately, like growth for me is scheduling. Like I'm usually all over the place in my head and my activities, and part of growth, even for the stream, they say that you have to pick a schedule and stick to it. And I'm like, stick to things. Me stick to things. You know how hard it is, how difficult it is for me to stick to things. You have no idea. But if if I make a schedule, then that's growth, right? And I did it. I did it. I made one. I did a whole stream like I'm doing now, stream of conscious stream, a whole thing I did to figure out what a good schedule would be. And it's ironic because what we came up with was that this hour is the time to start streaming. And I was going to stream Rocket League because Rocket League is taxing on my emotions. It's taxing on my mental health. So if I get it done early, I got something left to play Rocket League or do a music stream. And I was doing that for a little while. I was on that. And then somehow I fell off it and I stopped making a schedule again. Which might have worked against me. Because, you know, they're saying you should make a schedule and stick to it. And I'm not doing that. And then other people are like, I never did a schedule. And it's like, well, you're not streaming anymore either. How's that working out for you? So, what I'm getting at today is I'm realizing that there was a time in my life where I was at the most happiest when I was singing and playing guitar in a band. But I knew I didn't want to sing and play guitar in a band that just did cover songs forever because there's no pinnacle, there's no brass ring to grab. Like it's they're nice levels to go through career wise. But ultimately like there's no future, real future in like just being a cover band guy. There's no fame and fortune. Which is the jury's out on that. But I want to have some success as a writer, somebody that writes my own stuff. And I wasn't a writer, but I didn't really know how to get better. And then all of a sudden, like I bought some books on songwriting. Right, that's growth. I actually sat down and read it and tried to apply what I read. That's growth. We're supposed to grow. That's my whole point of this chat right now is that we're supposed to grow. Human beings when we were put on this earth, we were wired for growth. We're not supposed to stay 2 years old. We're not supposed to stay 12 years old. We're meant to grow. And sometimes I think that like I may have been harmed in certain ways in my life because I was around people that didn't see that growth is inevitable and you can't stop it. They're always like, oh, I want you to be 8 years old forever because you're so cute. And I don't ever want to see you grow up and have gray hair like I do now. But you can't stop it. You can't stop. I think people can try to stop growth, but inevitably growth wins. Growth wins out over trying to stay the same. Like for years, I used to record music and I recorded it on analog, which is, you know, a tape or a digital means. We just go straight in and you're done, and it's on the thing. But the recording industry has grown. Everything's on a digital audio workstation now. It's on the computer. And I used to have a program, and I used to be able to record myself. But things changed at a certain thing in times in my life, and I no longer had that software anymore. But I still have this longing to record. But so I had to go study what the new software is. What's the new software do that the old software didn't do? Because they're constantly working on the software to make it better. So I might have had a version 6 of something, and now it's 2021 and they have version 11. So I have to look at how it's grown. How is it different now than it was then? Is it better? Are there enhancements? I have a speaking of growth, there's a comedian that I love that I've followed over the years, and I've watched his growth. He does a whole bit on customer service. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, it's this guy, his name's Orny Adams. He's been on HBO and a couple. He's kind of a big deal, okay? He does this whole bit on customer service. He says you call up and they say, what's your account number? And you give it to them. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. And then you finally get somebody on the phone and they go, what's your account number? And he's got a point. This is the future. He even says it right in, this is the future. And it makes complete sense. Like, you would think customer service would have gotten easier over the years. But you could put your account number in once and it would take and it would be done and they would move on to your issue. But there's like 3 layers of giving your account number before they actually deal with your issue. That's not growth, is it? That's anti-growth. And you know what? I think a lot of people just put up with this because they don't realize that you could fight back against it. So I've been trying to figure out what is going to happen to me in my future. And I'm realizing, like, up until this point, there's been an accumulation of things and growth that have gotten me to who I am today. Part of me is I like to see growth. If I don't see growth and something looks like it's going backwards, I will come out and say it. And as a writer, I have a platform to come out and say it. Like, one of the artists that I really fell in love with as a kid was Ozzy Osbourne. And he had this song called We're Going Off the Rails on a Crazy Train. That's not growth, is it? A lot of what he did as an artist, his father was a preacher. So he was brought up with, like, morals and standards and values. And then he saw a lot of it not being followed, and he wrote songs that showed the contrast. And I realized most of the stuff I've ever listened to, most of the stuff that I've ever written has been that. I was just going through the stuff I used to listen to the other day. Big into Bruce Hornsby. What is it about Bruce Hornsby that I'm attracted to? I think at one time I wanted to go to Berkeley. He went to Berkeley. Maybe that's where some of the attraction started. But I think most of it has to do with the message that he's trying to put across. His big hit was called "That's Just the Way It Is. Some Things Will Never Change." Whoa. He's looking at societal things, news events, the way people behave, human behavior, and trying to show how some thinking does not encourage growth. That's what I'm attracted to. He has a song called "Look Out Any Window" that I used to love. It came out in the 90s. It talks about the fishing industry, how the people that are in high places that sit in the windows and make all these corporate executive decisions are making money hand over fist, but they don't care that much about what's happening to the industry and what's happening to the fish that they're catching that makes them the money, because they're ignoring like the environmental standards. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I'm a liberal. I like change. I like growth. I never wanted to change for years, but then one day I had to because it was killing me. And then when I did, I realized change was possible for me. I realized change is possible for anyone and anything in any system and any. And that's what attracts me to writing. That's ultimately my goal as an artist, is to point something out and say, why? I recorded this album maybe 10 years ago. I did it live. And I had set something on the album that I thought was profound, that I noticed that maybe not a lot of people did, which is what artists do. That's what comedians do. That's what we think in different ways. We see things that people don't see. And then we point it out. We try to explain why it isn't working, and then maybe what you should do instead. So I remember I had said on this album, I said, why doesn't everyone work out their issues before the holidays, so the holidays would be much better? Because I noticed it was happening in my own life, and it was happening in other people's lives too, where like you have a calendar year, okay? And each calendar day, some of them are clear. They're just days. They're just every day that we just do wherever we got to do. But then there are some days that are holidays we get together. Supposedly these are supposed to be family holidays where families get together. And I noticed like there's a lot of dysfunction in a family, could have a dysfunctional family. Things weren't worked out in between the holidays. Because somebody had a gripe with somebody and they didn't sit down and discuss it. Maybe they put it on Facebook instead and thought it would fix it. Made it worse. I don't know. But then, like, the holiday would come and you'd sit there and you'd pretend try to pretend there was no issue. And everything would be good at dinner and for a little while. And then all of a sudden somebody would say something and it would trigger somebody's, oh yeah, by the way, that thing that we was, and then it would be like a humongous argument. I saw that as anti-growth. So this is what I'm realizing about myself now, is that I'm very into growth. And if I'm not growing, I'm going. Like if I'm not moving forward, then I'm staying stuck or I'm moving backwards. So every day I wake up and I'm like, where am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? Where am I going? And those are the questions I ask myself in the morning. And then it gives me the agenda for the day. What do I need to do now? If I'm going here, what do I need to do to get there? What do I need to do today for growth? Because if I'm not working for growth, I'm working against growth. And it's that cut and dry. If 2 weeks ago I drank too much coffee and I talked too much and I then the next week I'm either going to have to cut down on my caffeine or cut down on the amount of time I speak, because then that cuts into other areas of my life. Growth. Time management, I never cared about that. But time management is important. So I got the book and I started reading about time management and I realized, okay, I'm pretty weak in a lot of those areas. Successful people, they're good at time management. So maybe I need to be too. I'll work on it. I have to admit, okay, I'm bad. Maybe I'll work on it. And that's growth. That's where growth starts. And growth comes in spurts. It's not just there, I'm done. Growth is, sometimes I think a lot of people won't get started on something because they don't understand how growth works. Growth is not, it's here, there, we're done. It's never that. It's a process. But the growth has to start somewhere. And even if you don't want to start, believe me, it'll catch up to you. Growth will find you. Now, sometimes when I'm in just chatting like I am now, I'm signed into the just chatting part of Twitch. I'm hoping that someone stops by and says, oh, it seems like a nice little conversation about growth. Maybe I'll join. And they don't. They just drive by, I call it. You drive by, who's this? He's not in a hot tub. He doesn't have titties. Keep going. Because that's what Twitch is. Okay, all right. So here's some more growth. And it has to do with Twitch. I'm realizing that I don't know a lot of what happens on Twitch. Twitch is a big place. I'm very grateful for it. I love it. I love the platform. I love the fact that you don't have to pay for it and you can make money. It's absolutely fantastic. If you went to any other marketplace, let's say you had a store and you could say, I'm going to put my goods in your store and I'm going to pay you to keep my goods here while I'm selling them. And then when I sell them, I can take a cut of what I made, give it to you for letting me keep it here, and to advertise it. But Twitch doesn't do that. That's not the way Twitch works. It's not like they're saying, okay, hey Jer Show, you want to be on Twitch? Here's your little box that everyone can see, and you pay me $20 a month, and I'll give you that box, and then you can do whatever you want. I don't pay anything to do this right now. This is free to me, money wise. Okay, it's taken my energy to talk. It's cutting the opportunity cost that I could be doing something else. But I'm hoping that what I'm doing will generate something later that I can cash in on. So now, the problem is I thought if I streamed for a long time, that would work. But somebody told me otherwise. It's anti-growth to stream too much. And it's so true. Like, I don't know how many times I've sat down and I'll go on Twitch myself and I'll go watch a streamer that I like, and they're streaming like let's say they start at noon, and then later on I'll say, wow, they're still streaming? It's been like 4 hours. And then later on, I'll stream for 4 hours, and I'll be like, why did I stream so long? Especially when like nobody was really watching for an hour of it. So I've been trying to figure out a way to gauge, because streaming to me is like fishing, okay? In fishing, you need bait. You have to, people are like fish. They like to see a certain thing in order for them to stay engaged. Also, when you fish, you can have the best bait in the world. I ain't saying I do. And when you cast that bait into the stream, so to speak, right? Stream. Sometimes there's no fish in that spot. Like I play Fortnite, and that's how Fortnite works with the fishing. There's like, here's the stream, and then there's only that one little spot where the fish are swimming around. And like, if you know that if you cast your line in that hole, you're gonna get something. If you go next to it where the fish aren't swimming, you're not gonna get that. I think streaming is the same way, and I haven't figured it out. I haven't figured out all the details of it. And what I mean by details is like, where's the spots on Twitch to stream the best, and where's the spots on stream time wise, like on the schedule, like are the best times from 10 to 11? Are they 2 to 3? I didn't have a reference point in which to make those decisions from until today. Today, for some reason, I decided to go on to the internet, and I found some very helpful reference tools for young streamers. And I want to share that with you. I want to share it. If I can find it. I gotta find it though. I'll open my desktop here. So, okay, that's OBS software. I don't want that. I want whatever's, let me see here. Here it is. Whatever's whatever's up on my screen is what you'll see. And I don't know how well you can see that. But this is what I was reading this morning for my growth, for my stream growth. I was reading this. And I want to share this with anybody who's new at streaming. 9 secrets of successful Twitch streamers. Playing games on streams and earning enough money to be independent of any other job. It may sound like a dream, but it has already come true for many guys and girls using Twitch. I know people. Relative of mine is successful on Twitch. He's probably making some money. I'm not. I haven't made a dime. I got a $5 donation once, but I haven't made a dime yet. Will I? I don't know. Hopefully with this, maybe that's some growth there. Maybe I could. Be yourself and find your niche. Now, I don't know how that's pronounced. I've heard it pronounced niche. I've heard it pronounced niche. I guess it depends on where you hail from. I guess I like to say niche. Gamers are not one personality cloned to millions. We are all unique. We play different games, we use different devices, and enjoy life in countless ways. I agree with that. So there really isn't one like be all end all way of being a streamer. So when I first started doing it, I just did what I felt. I said, just trying to be natural, try to be me. I'm trying not to be something I ain't, which people hate that. So I decided from the start that I'm not just going to find the popular games that people are playing and play those. That if I played a game I liked and it wasn't that popular, oh well. And I had people coming along going, whoa, you need to play, if you want to be a successful streamer, you got to play this game and that game. And I'd be like, no, that kind of runs counter to what this thing is saying, which I believe is more conducive for growth. So I would not listen to those people that said, I just happen to like Fortnite and I play it a lot. And I was actually going to not play it as much. Until I read a little further and it said, play games you really love. To figure out what to stream on Twitch, create a list of your own personal top games. I did that. Fortnite, Rocket League, Forza 7, and poker. And sometimes Cold War. I'm not really that crazy about Cold War. I play it now and then. It's a good game. I like watching other people play it, but I guess I'm just haven't played it enough to be, oh yeah, this is a game I like. So I could see me eventually really liking it. Whether they are popular currently through Twitch metrics. So this Twitch metrics, this is definitely growth for me because I didn't even know there was a Twitch metrics. Okay. So, of course I got to go there too. So here it is. There it is, Twitch metrics. Look at that. Oh, wait, you can't see it. Hang on. Why can't you see it? I don't get it. It should be on just window capture. I see. All right, there's display capture. That's why. Oh my God. All right, you see it now, right? There it is. Twitch metrics is my favorite new site now to help me with my growth for the stream growth. The reason why I love metrics is people use metrics to make decisions. Okay. I never used to, but this is a new me today, so it's growth for me to use metrics. We're pretty much, New York State is pretty much out of a pandemic. Okay. We were in a pandemic. It was horrible. It shut down a lot of stuff for a year. I'm not even going to go into like all the detriments to growth that I can list. But I do know that there has been some good growth through this pandemic, at least for me. Started taking vitamin D more. I started taking care of my immune system more. My point is, while I was in the pandemic, love him or hate him, our Governor Cuomo in New York came out almost every day and gave you the deal. He gave you the lowdown. And it changed me because I realized I would rather have the lowdown. I'd rather have it be bad news and you're straight up front with me than to lie to me and tell me it's better than it is when it's actually worse. I think that's why Trump lost the election. So Cuomo would come out and say, he would have a graph. He would say, he would have the metrics. Here's January, here's February, here's March, here's where it went up, here's where it went down. And it made me realize, like, I would love from now on to make what they call data-driven decisions. DDDs, right? Triple D to me isn't just a process. Like, triple data-driven decisions, okay? You have to have the right data before you can make the right decisions. So seeing as I didn't know what the data was on Twitch, I couldn't make decisions regarding when I should stream, what I should stream, how long I should stream, etc., etc. I found this site today. Twitch metrics. Oh my God. So I started out this morning with the most popular games. And would you believe this thing that I'm talking on right now, just chatting, that's the most popular. Out of all the Twitch categories that there are, Twitch metrics says just chatting is the most popular. And you know what? I believe I could see that. I could see how they could come to that conclusion. Because a lot of times when I'm done streaming and I go to bed, I go on just chatting just to see who's on there and talking. And a lot of times it's the same people that have really grown their stream to the point that every night people are there. All right. I'm definitely not there. I definitely don't have those kind of numbers. But just knowing that just chatting is the most popular, it makes me realize, like, maybe more people are on there. That maybe I should focus my stream on just chatting more and maybe come up with some good topics to chat about. And I thought growth would be a good one. But obviously, like, no one's joining me saying, hey, growth, I'll talk about growth with you, Jer. I'm like the guy that eats lunch by himself and someone goes, hey, you look lonely. You want to eat a cheeseburger together? I wish that would happen to me on Twitch. It don't. But the only way to do it is to have growth, is to be online doing it like I am now. And some of my well-meaning friends have stopped by and said, Why are you streaming? Nobody's watching. I'm like, you don't get it. That's how it works. You have to be on doing it in order for it to happen. It was a famous athlete that said 100% of the shots you don't take don't go in. I think it was Gretzky, but I'm not sure. And what he means by is, I'm never going to get followers, I'm never going to get chatters if I'm not streaming. So I have to ignore that advice because it's not good for growth. For someone to say why, that's like saying, don't make your bed because you're just going to sleep in it again tomorrow anyways. No, you get up, you make your bed because it's a ritual, it's a routine that's conducive to growth. So let's go on now that I'm done preaching here. Just chatting is the most popular of the Twitch categories. It has 359,000 average viewers. That means it goes higher. That's just an average, which means it's like over 500,000 people possibly watch Just Chatting more than any of the other Twitch stations. The average live channel is 1,442. Peak viewers are 1 million. Okay? So here I am over here crying because, oh, nobody's watching my streams and when I do music and nobody does this thing. You know why? Because they're watching Just Chatting. Right now, this month, chats are more important. Chats are more popular. So, if I want viewers and I want what I want, if I want to grow my stream, I should make my I should be on Just Chatting more. Like here's a pie chart, right? This is a circle, right? And right now, what my streams consist of are like a third, right? This is broke up into threes, and I have like Fortnite at the top, Rocket League is on the side, which lately hasn't been that much, and Just Chatting is in there, and then music is like this little slice, like when the pizza guy missed and he wasn't very symmetric and he kind of like made one piece bigger than the other, and then on the other side it's a small. That's like where my music thing has been, is the small one, right? But so what I'm realizing now is from the metrics that I need to change my streaming schedule based on this. More Just Chatting, more of this, more of what I'm doing now. So I have to come up with some good topics to chat about, or else I'm competing with all these other millions of people are watching Just Chatting. And if I'm going to even think about getting even a small part of that, I better have some good topics. So that's growth for me. So I have to do some research. Like what do people talk about? What do they want to chat about? Maybe I got to go into the other Just Chatting streams and see what they're talking about. Who are, you know what I mean? What are they discussing? The ones that late at night, I ain't gonna lie to you, they're very adult oriented chats. They're very, it's all about the flirting and the flesh and That's fine. I guess there's a place for that. But what are people talking about during the day? That's what I want to know. Now, when I go onto Twitch during the day, before I stream, I have certain places that I go to because like I've realized I'm kind of a liberal person. I watch some of the progressive shows. I watch David Pakman, who I admire. I watch Hal Sparks, who I admire, and I've actually stolen a few ideas for doing a stream from him with the sound effects and whatever. And I enjoy TYT, but I can't spend all day doing that, and they know that too. And this reading this article today made me realize there's some growth in how I'm going to approach the stream from now on, because I need to remember that people are busy. Sometimes I sit here and I'm like, I think I have the greatest content in the world, and I'm like, how come nobody's watching? But the truth of the matter is, I don't have the greatest content in the world, and people are doing stuff. I can't expect so much from myself. All I have to do is I have to remember that some people will stop by, and some people will be interested, and I'll have some loyal people, and I'll have some people that just stop by and left. I'll have some people that stop by once in a while. And that's just how it is. But I gotta be me. I gotta be me. So anyway. More chat, just chatting. So I think in just chatting from now on, I'm going to cover my new adventures with the recording software and songwriting. Like, how do you write a song? And I'll write a song. I'll write one, and the viewers can see me writing it, and they can help me write it, and then they can watch me record it. That might be interesting to some people. Home recording or songwriting and singing and writing. Just writing, maybe in general writing. There's countless books that I've read about writing that I could discuss. And I got a parakeet, and the parakeet could come in. I could do a just chatting like parakeet stream like I used to. Whatever. But some more just chatting because of this metrics. Okay. There's 466,000 current viewers to just chatting. I'd be lucky if I could get 1,000 of those. Sometimes I can't even get 5. But if I change some things that I do, maybe I'll see some growth. And then, how do you measure the growth? That's one thing that's really important. How do you measure growth? Like, I'm constantly talking to my friends, and they throw this phrase around, and the phrase goes, how's that working for you? And my answer is, how do you know it's working for you? The only way you know if it's working for you or not is if you can measure the growth. Yesterday, I had an Xbox. I wanted to sell it. I sold it. I got money. There's the growth. I went from no money to $100. How's it working for me? Based on this, I'd say pretty good. That's an example of measuring growth. I'm coming up with a song right now. See, a lot of people's growth is just where they're supposed to be in life, and other people don't think that's where they should be, and then there's shame that's involved, and that's what fuels drug addiction. somebody's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be living in my car. If you got to live in your car for a month till you find a place, then do it. Or go get a shelter. But don't, you know, I don't know. There's a whole nother can of worms I'm not going to open right now. So the streaming is like a pie chart. All right. So according to this, just chatting is where people's eyes are. So when I come up with my stream schedule, I keep that in mind. Just chatting, gonna swing more towards the just chatting part. So the percentage of the streams that I do, what percentage of streaming would be just chatting? Like, would it be 60%? 60, I can't do 60-40 because then I'd have to do 20 and 20 of the other two. So, and I'm really just streaming just about. All right, so this is what else I did. This is growth too. This is another thing I did. So now that I realized just chatting is the most popular, what are the rest? What, you know what I mean? Like, according to Twitch metrics, game leaderboards is really, yeah, here we go. This is the thing that really grabbed me this morning when I clicked onto this. Just chatting being number one, making me realize I have to shift my streaming more towards just chatting because that's where more people are. Let's go down through the list here. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the second game that's most popular on Twitch for streaming. Now, I have a history with Grand Theft Auto 5. I purchased it last year, I think as a trial to see if I was going to like it. And I played it. I went through the first couple of missions. Took me a couple times to get used to driving the car. I played racing games, and I thought that if you play a racing game and you drive cars around, this game would be a breeze in it. And it wasn't for me. Like the transferable skills from another game to this one are not really that smooth. Like there's dynamics of the car driving in Grand Theft Auto 5 that's takes some getting used to. And I did. And I think so to be honest, with that game, I almost kind of gave up on it. I don't like Grand Theft Auto 5 enough to say I'm going to stream it while I play it. Because I think when I stream, I want to pick a game that I'm good at. I don't want people just stopping by my Twitch stream and being like, this guy sucks at this game. And even if I had good commentary to go along with my suckiness, I still want to play a game that I'm good at. So I think that's one of the reasons why I probably didn't. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Come on, baby. Come on, see me? No, don't bite me. I want you to come on. I want you to come see me. Oh, come on, come see me. Come on. My hand. Me and you. Thought we were buds. All right, never mind. So to go back to the earlier the premise and the narrative about games. When a person decides to stream on Twitch, should they pick a game that's popular so that they'll be popular even if they don't like it? People suggest against it. So this is why I don't stream Grand Theft Auto. Even though it's a popular game, I don't stream it just to be popular. Because believe me, I'd be popular right now if I did. And I'm not popular. I'm widely ignored right now in the Twitch community for whatever reason. So that's number 2. It's a decent game. I like it. I can't see me switching to it to stream it. I'll play it on my own now, but I'm not gonna. No, I guess there are other games that I'll stream if I'm new, just to show like that I'm going through the process. But if I find like I really suck at a game and I don't think I'm gonna get better at it, I won't stream it. What are you doing? What are you doing, Birdie? Pretty Birdie. So, League of Legends. Never played it. Don't even know what it's about. Usually you look at a game and you can kind of tell what kind of game it is. You know, like, is it a first-person shooter? Is it a strategy game? I don't even know what League of Legends is. I have no idea. And it's the 3rd highest game. It's the 3rd most watched game on Twitch metrics. And I just noticed, not only do they have the most watched games on Twitch metrics, they also have the most streamed games. And the highest peak viewership and the most popular. And I would think most watched and most popular would be the same, wouldn't they? Let's just see. Most popular. Just chatting again. Yeah, they're all going to be pretty much the same. The numbers are going to be similar. League of Legends. No idea. Let's just check it out. What is League of Legends? It doesn't give me a description. But it seems like a lot of people. Oh my God, they even have the top broadcast languages. Valorant. Okay, now Valorant is a game that I have streamer friends that play Valorant quite a bit. I'm unfamiliar with for the most part. I know it's a shooter, and each person has like a different. Each character has its own qualities to it. But I didn't dip my foot in the pool of Valorant, and I don't know if I'm going to. And this is why I feel like streamers or musicians or anybody should specialize in certain things. Like, years ago, I used to be a player of all, master of none. And people used to love, my ego used to love the fact that, like, I could play drums, and I could play guitar, and I could play the bass. And at the end of the day, who the hell cares if I'm a multi-instrumentalist or not? No one cares. It's only impressive for like 5 minutes. So what I'm saying is, like, I'd rather have a couple games that I play really well than, because each one of them has its own learning curve. You know what I mean? So like, if you're concentrating on like Fortnite and Rocket League and music and just chatting, that alone, those 4 things, what my stream does, that's a lot to deal with. I can't see myself playing another game and having to learn that. Because A, I don't have that kind of time. B, I'll never be good at one of them really, and that's not cool. So when people talk about variety streamers, okay, great for like about 5 minutes. Variety streaming, I don't think is really that good to do. As a matter of fact, I even changed the name of my stream from the Germinator to the Jer Show because I felt like I was a variety streamer and the Germinator name just wasn't covering everything that I did. Like when I changed it to the Jer Show, I wanted it to be like you're gonna see a show. You're gonna see music. You can see comedy. You're gonna see some games. It's not just one thing. But the problem is you can't do two. I can't do everything. I can't be everywhere. So this is why I'm kind of like not willing to let new games into my life. And one of the reasons, one of the things that smashed that home with me is when I first started streaming, I watched other streamers and I watched people that play the games that I want to get better at. I watched this one guy playing Rocket League because I was trying to get better at Rocket League. And they were asking him in the chat, because his chat's full of people, mine isn't, but his chat's full of people. I mean, the fact that he's grand champ in SSL has a lot to do with it, but you're like, do you play any other games besides Rocket League? And he said, no, I want to just get good at this one game. And I feel like if I get good at this one game and spend my time on one game, then it's better than trying to learn 4 or 5 games. And I was like, oh shit, because I'm trying to learn 4 or 5 games. So instead of learning 5 games, I had to cut one. So this is why I don't think I'm going to start playing Valorant, even though it's the number 4 most watched game according to Twitch metrics. I'm not going to do it. Because it takes away from time that I'm playing the games that I want to play. Although lately with Fortnite and the UFOs, I've had thoughts of jumping ship, saying, fuck you, Fortnite, and your UFOs, and maybe just playing Valorant. But I didn't yet. Call of Duty Warzone is number 5 of the most watched streamed games according to Twitch metrics. Okay, I got a confession to make. I wasn't into Call of Duty much at all. My first Call of Duty experience was with the PC. And it's funny because I was a PC gamer and I thought PC gaming was like, nobody cared about it. And then all of a sudden, like, all these other games came out, like Rocket League and Fortnite, and the PC people seemed to dominate in Fortnite, which is ironic because here I gave up all the PC thing that I was on. There was no Twitch at the time, and I switched to console. So now that I've learned how to play console, Xbox wise, all these people that are playing on PC are kicking my ass. So Call of Duty, I had the original disc for Call of Duty, the first Call of Duty ever. I have someplace. And I was playing that just for fun like a couple of years ago. I guess I've been out of the loop and I haven't really realized that Call of Duty put so many other games out, you know. And my dad used to play. So I'm talking to my dad yesterday. He's like, oh, Call of Duty. And I'm like, you have no idea how many new Call of Duties have come out. since that first one. I mean, there's Call of Duty Ghosts, there's Call of Duty Black Ops. I mean, I have Call of Duty Black Ops 2, 3. I have yeah. Black Ops Cold War. I have. And I got it when it was season 3, and now they have a season 4. So the confession that I had to make is, I think I wanted to get Call of Duty because there was, I was watching this one streamer, and she was really cute. And she said, "Do you play Call of Duty?" And I said, no, I'm kind of thinking about it. Looks like a fun game. And I actually bought the game because I thought maybe I was going to. Anyway. Hi, buddy. I played it a few times. I liked it. I like the multiplayer aspect. I like the Battle Royale aspect of it because I am a Fortnite person. But it's a whole lot quicker than Fortnite could ever be. And sometimes I don't like it for that reason. Sometimes, because I don't know, I think I'm kind of slow in some senses. Where my reactions aren't as quick. So, and I think Call of Duty Warzone requires really quick reactions. So if I'd had a couple strong cups of coffee, I'd probably play Call of Duty Warzone and survive. But if I didn't, so what I'm trying to say is this: the attraction to the game, Call of Duty Warzone, is just not there for me like it is for a lot of other people. I know a lot of other, obviously it's the 5th most viewed game, so obviously somebody likes it, right? But I'm not one of those people that goes on Twitch and says, "Oh, I gotta watch Call of Duty," but I have. And one of the reasons that I've watched was because of not so much of the game, but the person that was. That's my bird. The person. What are you doing, buddy? Whoa. Hi, bud. Why don't you like my hand no more? Come here. Come here. Come here. Get over here. I want to see you. There's my buddy. Hi, buddy. What are you afraid of? Why are you so herky-jerky? Hi, buddy. My bud. Oh, my buddy. Oh, yeah, it's my little birdie. Oh, my little birdie. My little birdie. My buddy. All right, so. No, we're looking at the top, the most streamed video games on Twitch. I know I like Fortnite too, but it's not even in the top. Minecraft comes in at number 6. And I always thought like Minecraft was like a kid's game. That's the feeling most people get about Minecraft, is it's a kid's game. And you know, I was like, all right, let me just try it out one day. And I know. So, I know. I know. I thought it was a kid's game. It's not. So, I just sold my Xbox, the all digital version that I bought in 2019. I just sold it to somebody. And when I got it, it came with 3 games. It came with Fortnite, Minecraft, and Sea of Thieves. Never played any of them before. But I think one of the first ones that Hi, buddy. One of the first ones I started playing was Minecraft, because I really just wanted to see what it was. Like, what does it do? What's the purpose of Minecraft? And I have to say that even though it might be a kid's game, it's number 6 on the list, so it's pretty popular. Hi, buddy. what I liked about it is it takes you into like other worlds. Like I used to, when I was younger, I used to love fantasy stuff, like Star Wars and Kiss and anything that kind of like took you into another dimension that you weren't really um, used to. And that besides drugs, which I don't do anymore, but. So Minecraft kind of like has that feel. Minecraft has like an otherworldly dimension to it that I like. And because like it started out with like a field and grass and flowers, and then you can go into the sand, and you can go into the water. There's snow. It's like really cool, and you just dig and you find stuff and you make stuff and then you mine for gold, and I was hooked on the the survival mode of Minecraft. I like this. I like that, and I would play that for hours. But I never thought of streaming it. And I always thought when people streamed Minecraft, they weren't streaming the survival mode. That they were streaming the multiplayer mode, and I don't play the multiplayer mode, or at least I haven't. I could, if I wanted some growth. I think I've done a couple streams, couple Minecraft streams, couple survival streams, and I don't think they were that popular. So I think that's kind of like why I stopped. Like I knew if I knew I like Minecraft as a game, so if I knew I played it more and people watched it more, I might stream it more. But I guess I took a small sample size of it and I streamed it, and I went, doesn't look like it's catching on. I'm not a regular Minecraft streamer, but I have, for history's sake, I have. Now then there's Fortnite, which comes in at number 7. All right, now Fortnite, I've been like I said earlier, I got Fortnite on a free. It came with the Xbox that I bought in 2019, a couple of years ago. I just sold it yesterday. Fortnite came on that, and I didn't know what a Fortnite was. I'm like, what's a Fortnite? I'm like, it's not the second night or the third night, it's the Fortnite. According to me, that's what I didn't know. It was a shooter, but it was also survival, kind of like Minecraft, where you find things and then you can upgrade things. And I was like, well, that's cool, because I'm used to the Minecraft element, and I kind of like a shooter like Call of Duty that's not as busy. I'm kind of laid back in some regards, where I really kind of don't like the new versions of Fortnite, because they're starting to resemble old games where there's too much going on. Like, we noticed this the other day. It used to be like a chill game to play. And now it's like you just recover from one thing and there's something else there. It's like this game just is like pounding you the whole time. We were talking about this last night. We were like, so I just shot somebody and now I'm medding up, and I can't even finish taking my med kit because somebody's shooting me already. And then that's what happens in a battle royale. Don't get me wrong. It's just now, like with the wolves and the storm going too fast and the UFOs, it's just like, it's madness. That game is madness. And the building, the way people build now. So I've often had second thoughts about whether I should keep streaming Fortnite or not, because I feel like it's getting less popular, and Obviously, feelings aren't facts, like they say, because here's the facts. Twitch metrics says that Fortnite, even with the UFOs, even with all this other stuff that a lot of people don't approve of, it's still the number 7 on Twitch metrics. I can't see it getting any higher. Actually, like I predict that like next month it'll drop. I think a lot of people are watching Fortnite now because they want to see what the new changes are. People are talking about the UFOs and they want to see what the UFOs are all about. But I think they're gonna find that like it's gonna drop because they're like, oh, UFOs, yeah, oh okay, yeah, they're all right. I don't care. And then it's just, I bet you. I like to think I'm good at predicting things. I'm gonna predict right now that next month when I check Twitch metrics, Fortnite's gonna have dropped. You can mark my word right now. I'm not Nostradamus, but I'm gonna tell you, I think Fortnite's gonna drop. Number 8, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I have never played that. I guess with Call of Duty and Fortnite and all the other shooters that there are out there, I guess I'm not really interested in checking out another one. Because it would really have to move me. It would really have to have something different that would make me switch, so to speak. That would make me want to play another shooter. Like as it is now, I'm on the fence about playing shooters because, because they say they're violent or whatever. I mean, Fortnite has no blood. Uh, Call of Duty, on the other hand, is pretty nasty. But so I can't really see, unless I check it out and see what kind of. I need to have someone describe it to me. I'm gonna look it up on the web and just see what it says. Counter-Strike Global Offensive. There it is. It's a $40 game, so that's cool. I want the description. Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a multiplayer first-person shooter developed by Valve, which is good, and Hidden Path Entertainment. It is the 4th game in the Counter-Strike series. See, I haven't even experienced the first 3 because I've just been doing other stuff. I'm not a die-hard gamer. I'm a quasi part-time gamer. They made an inoffensive compromise between the best parts of the old version. Well, that's good. And then, see right here, this review is saying it follows the same old formula as other shooters. See, this is why I won't buy it, because I don't want to waste my time if it's just the same old formula. After an 8-year hiatus with a significant visual redesign. I didn't know that. New weapons and modes, unfortunately, while it's still the same robust first-person shooter we've all come to know. Love and or hate it, it doesn't do a whole lot to break new ground. See, this is why I don't. I'll just keep playing Fortnite and Call of Duty. I don't need another. I don't need another one. But you know, it is number 8. Love it or hate it, it's number 8. Now here's one that I've just become familiar with. I had no idea this was a game. I don't know anything about it. But at number 9 we have Dota 2. I don't know what it is. It looks like a gothic, like, sword, medieval type of thing. Dota. I don't know. I never heard of Dota. I'm going to look up Dota. Obviously, there was a Dota 1 before a Dota 2. Dota. Dota. Dota 2. Okay. Dota 2. Multiplayer online battle arena. Ooh. Published by Valve. There's Valve again. The game is a sequel to Defense of the Ancients, which is a community-created mod for Blizzard Entertainment's Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos. Dota 2 is played in matches between 2 teams of 5 players, each team occupying and defending their own separate base on the map. Each of the 10 players independently controls a powerful character known as a hero who have all unique abilities and differing styles of play. During a match, players collect experience points and items for their heroes to successfully defeat the opposing team's hero in player versus player combat. So it looks kind of fun. But I'm not really crazy about this type of a game's view, like the overhead view of this. A lot of people do. They like World of Warcraft. They like Minion Masters, and I just can't see myself playing this. It kind of reminds me of Age of Empires 2 with the layout. Like, there's the map, there's the upgrade places. Maybe. But like I said, I stream. I have a limited schedule in which to stream anyways. So I can't see me taking out another game like this. But it looks kind of cool. And it comes in number 10 on Twitch metrics, most watched games on Twitch as of June of this year. Hi, Birdie. World of Warcraft. All right, now this is something that I've never gotten into. And it's gone up and down. It comes in peaks and valleys, this thing. So there's this guy Shroud that everybody likes on Twitch, I guess, and he has the most viewers, and he plays this game, World of Warcraft. Never played it once. Don't even really know what it's about. Hi, buddy. I've thought about playing it, but then I said, nah. It was a quick thought. Like a lot of my thoughts. Hi, bud. Pretty bird. Hi. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. What else do we have? So that's the top 10. The top 10, we have Just Chatting, which I have to do more of, like I am now. Grand Theft Auto 5, which I don't think I'm ever going to stream. I have played it a couple times. Has some very adult themes to it. League of Legends, never played it. Valorant, no. I thought about it. I know a lot of people like it. I know a lot of people play it. I can't take on another game right now. Call of Duty Warzone, I will continue to play that. I think I remember not too long ago, and it might have been last month, they had a throwback to the 80s series that I thought was cool. Made me feel old, but you could get different skins. You could get Bruce Willis from Die Hard, and it's funny, I just watched the movie really in its entirety for the first time. Yippee-ki-yay. And you could also, Call of Duty, you could also get Rambo, Predator, all of the action heroes for a limited time. You could get the skins and you could play it in the game. So I did play Black Ops Cold War not too long ago, and it's like a multiplayer aspect to it, where you get dropped into an area with 2 or 3 other players that random, like I don't know who they are, from around the globe, and just dropped in, and you got to fight another team, and I don't even know the layout, didn't even know the rooms or the maps, and you get dropped in, and you're like, holy crap, where is it? What do I do? Where do I go? And you go around a corner and get shot. It's like, it was nuts. So it made me realize if one's gonna get better at a Call of Duty game, they have to keep playing it and familiarize yourself with the map more, because the more you know the map, the more you know where to hide and where the other people hide. And I really just, in a way, it was fun because I didn't know, but in a way, it's like terrifying too at first. So I think I would probably play Call of Duty Warzone more. Would I stream it though? That's the thing. I think if I wanted viewers to the channel to get them to know the music part of my stream, I might, according to this, might have to do Call of Duty a little bit more. So I don't know what the percentage is going to be yet, but according to this, the most viewed is Just Chatting, followed by, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the list of the most viewed things on Twitch and trying to see which ones I already stream, and then see where I need to make adjustments. And that's how I think growth is going to happen for me. So we're talking Just Chatting. I have to find more time for Just Chatting. I don't know how much time yet. Some more time for Call of Duty. Maybe I'll get good at the game and I'll get more streamers watching, or maybe because I'm still at the noob stage right now. I'm still kind of suck. And I don't know how much time I have to devote to. Although I have been getting sick of Fortnite lately because of the UFOs. So maybe I'll just do Call of Duty instead of Fortnite for that reason. Minecraft, maybe I'll do more Minecraft survival if I know more people are there. Of course, then there is the beauty of being down lower, which means you have less people to compete with. If more people are watching games you don't play, and a lot of people are looking for new people that play other things, you got a better shot. Then that's the way I see it. And one of the real reasons I came on Twitch in the first place is to do music. So if you go down past, if we're in the Twitch metrics, you'll see for June, just out of top 10, when you start getting into 11 through 20, we have Apex Legends, which I have downloaded. It's in my account and in my cloud. I think I did go through the training to try to figure out how to play it and pick up ammo and shoot people. But I think that's as far as I got. I didn't take it to the next stage in Apex Legends. But now that I know it's 11, maybe, I don't know. Like I said earlier, shooters, I don't want to be involved in too many shooters. It's just too much. Even though it seems like a good game, all the shooters are always comparing to other shooters. Oh, is that like Call of Duty? Oh, is that like Apex Legends? And I think in order for a game shooter, first-person shooter to compete in the marketplace, they have to have something that's a little bit different. And maybe that's why Fortnite is popular, because it is a shooter, but then there's other aspects to it that aren't just guys shooting at each other, you know? Unless that's what you're into, which ain't bad either. Apex Legends. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's just a thing that people watch, I guess. Special events. Now, what in the world is that? I've never heard of this. Hang on, I'm gonna get a coffee. I never heard of special events. Now, when I say I've never heard of special events, I don't mean that I've never heard of special events like in general, because I know what a special event is. Every day I wake up is a special event. But I don't know. I didn't know that special events was a category on Twitch until this morning. So that fits in with this whole growth topic that I'm talking about this morning. There's growth. Growth. No one's watching. No one is watching me at all. And that's the thing, if you're a young streamer like me, it's like, if nobody watches you for like a week and then somebody stops in, that's growth. It's like one more person than before. So this is what I'm gonna look into more, is special events is a channel on Twitch. And I didn't know this. Apparently 50,000 average viewers know about this. I'm not one of them. Hi, buddy. So I'm gonna look into this, because this might have to do with, like, I really don't know what events they're referring to. So this is new. This is good. This is good, because it could, maybe they're broadcasting weddings or something. Don't know. Hi, Birdie. Looking into it right now. Twitch special events. That's good. He's my buddy. Okay. Special events. Here we go. I'm going to follow this. I didn't even know it was a thing. Soda starts a spam in Twitch gaming. That's a special event. 129 people are watching that. Oh my lord. Called out live. I'm not really seeing special events here, other than they're just using special events as another platform to get viewers. So I guess maybe like that's a whole nother platform, a whole nother outlet. I just wonder if now I wonder like if say like I'm streaming right now, okay? It makes me wonder if like I get connected to two or three different outlets at once. Like can you stream to just chatting and special events at the same time? Can you stream to multiple channels? Makes me wonder. Because I got to tell you, if more people are watching, just chatting than special events, then I'm not going to be on special events. Although, like I said earlier, it might be easier to stream where there's less people. We might pick up some people there. I don't know yet. I'd have to try both. Special events. All right, cool. I did. This is growth. Like I said, I had no idea that that was even a thing. I didn't even know. Slots. There's a category called slots, and people are watching slots. Really? 44,000 people watch slots. I won't be streaming slots. Not gonna happen. Dead by Daylight. I've heard of this. I've heard of this game. I've never played it. Dead by Daylight. It looks like a creepy, scary game. It looks like it peaked in May and then like went way back down and came back up in June. So like why does a game peak? Why does a game have a bump in viewership? Is it because like it just was a new season that week? I bet you Fortnite's the same thing. I bet you like I was saying earlier, um, that's called the trend. It's like here we go. All right, and I'd be correct in saying this. Like Tuesday just says Tuesday, June 8th. It peaked. It peaked. It was way up here. You know why? Because that was the start of the new season. Was the 8th. And then right after that, it went right down to nothing. And then it came back up a little bit. It came down, and now it's kind of like going back up again. But I bet you that the bars that are the highest in the stats for views on games on Twitch, I bet you they're the highest because it was a new season just started. I'd be willing to bet money on it. FIFA is a popular one. It's number 15. Okay, I've thought about playing FIFA, but I tried a soccer game before in the past. I forget which FIFA it was, and I was just not interested after about a half hour of it. I was like, first of all, I can't score a goal, it seems, because it's just too tough. You really got to practice and practice to get good at FIFA. So maybe that's why it's number 15, because people watch it and you have to, I would imagine you have to be pretty advanced at the game to keep people's interest. And I'm definitely not one of those players, but I bet you there's some really, really good FIFA players on there. And the best ones that probably have the most views. All right, now we're going to get into my favorite. The whole reason I started playing on Twitch, the main reason, there's other reasons. Rocket League and Fortnite. The main reason was this category. Because I like to write my own songs, and I like to play my own songs, and I would like people to hear my own songs, and maybe I could develop an audience from my own songs. And here you have it. I had no idea Twitch metrics existed until this morning. Which is why I called the stream Growth, because I wanted to be able to make some data-driven decisions. You can't make decisions if you don't have the data. Well, here's the data. Here's the metrics from Twitch that show how popular the music category is in June. I gotta say that I've done some music streams and I didn't get hardly anybody in at all, unless I let them know ahead of time that I was gonna be there. Very rarely, and I mean rarely, did someone stop by, just stopping by and said, hey, I noticed you're playing, wow, you know, pretty good, can you play this song? It happened twice. Other than that, I've felt like I was invisible. So I really wish I had access to this information before I started streaming, because it says 30,000 viewers average are on to see music. And it's mostly English. And it's actually going down. So maybe I don't feel so bad now that a lot of people haven't come by to see the music stream, because it seems like this is really low. Like it hasn't even hit 50,000 viewers. Even in May, like I was probably streaming during this period from like March to June. And I guess no matter what I did or tried to do, I couldn't get anyone to watch. And look, neither can these people. I mean, they did. There's some here with 25. And the beauty of these metrics now, the beauty of finding this page and getting these metrics now, is I can actually go into the streams, and I can see like which streamer has the most views and why. There's this guy called Quack City, Live Nation, Amazon Music. Of course, that's a show. They're doing a show. Of course, they're gonna have more views. They have more advertising revenue and more advertising reach. And Bowery Presents. I guess that's the way to do it now. You get a sponsor, somebody that does a show, and they spend a lot of money in promoting it, so that way when it finally launches, you know, they can get thousands of some eyeballs and ears. These other little guys, you know, they're having trouble. Look, Bowery's in there twice. Live Nation's in there twice. Netflix, Geek Week. That's not even music. There is Light. Presents Serpent with Feet. Never heard of them. But that's the whole point of Twitch, is launching artists that people have never heard of so they can hear of them. LG presents Coldplay. Well, you can't a small independent streamer playing music, you certainly can't compete with Coldplay. I mean, they're freaking Coldplay, for God's sakes. Out Loud, Raising Voices, Pride Kickoff. I should be doing my Elton John stuff on Pride Week, right? Raquel, Learning Together. I follow her. She's amazing. If I could just get her to host me or to raid me, holy shit, dude. It's a school night. Amazon Mute, Slater Kinney. Who's going to compete with that? A little story behind Slater Kinney. When I lived in my old apartment, I was trying to figure out how to create more. How do you get off your ass, and what's the creative process like for artists that are creating more? And they had Slater Kinney. They were describing their creative processes, and it's funny, like some people create. It just comes to them and they develop it, and other people get the idea and it has to develop over time. And the two in the band, Slater and Kinney, they have two different styles. One is one style, one is the other. So it's like, wow, how do they handle that? They must maybe complement each other in some ways, and then maybe like clash in other ways. Most popular music streams, a 30-day history. See, I need to look at this every month before I do my streams. I need to really look at this. I mean, just look at it. No wonder I'm not getting enough viewers to my music stream. Look at all these like big corporate places that are spending all this money for advertising. They're putting on these little shows. And then once in a while, like, you get a small streamer like this who's just kicking ass, like B7 Kooky. It's Eugene Tsai, Producer Cook-Up EP7 Songwriter Edition. This is like what I want to do. This is what he's doing, exactly what I am aspiring to do. So maybe I should go to his channel and kind of like follow it and watch how other people do it. Come up with my own. Weekday Jams and Vibes. Oh boy. Leon Bratt, who's a partner. We'll see why I couldn't make partners someday. Music with the Cozy Cat Club. Angel's Piano. I follow her. I love her. She's basically a partner. She is on the 3rd page of the most popular music streamers. So that's one of my goals. You heard it here first. One of my goals is to be on this page. I'm gonna be on this page, watch and see. I'm gonna be one of the best streamers you ever did see. Lara, I think I've seen her before. She does piano versions of like video game songs. I watched her for a little while and I was like, I'm not really into this. I appreciate what she does I can't understand why she has so many followers from doing games things, but hey, it is what it is, right? Good on her. Clinton Sparks. There's one I haven't heard of. So this is going to be cool. Like my goals for this year, the rest of the year, is to even get on here somewhere. There's 5 pages of the most popular streamers, and the one that's on the very, very bottom has 5,874 average viewers. I can't even get 3 average viewers to get affiliate. And this guy has 5,874 average viewers. Live Show Inferno. What does he do? He streams Grand Theft Auto? That's not music. Give me a break. Give me a fucking break. So I am definitely gonna yeah. I am definitely gonna bookmark this page because this is some very vital, necessary knowledge for me as a musician that's trying to get my name all over Twitch. It's the most popular music streams. And then this guy has a driving stream. How is that even mute? This is so stupid. He streamed for an hour and it was a driving stream. But it's listed under music. 94,000 average viewers. I hope he was talking about music while he was driving, and I hope he didn't get into a car accident. So there you have it. There's the stream I did today on growth. My growth as a person, my growth as a streamer, ways to grow. And yet it falls on deaf eyes and deaf ears once a fucking again. But they say don't give up. Just keep trying. Just keep fucking digging that hole, that quicksand. Just keep fucking doing it. I have to make strategies, I guess. That's what I need to do. I need a strategy. I need a Twitch strategy. It's going to have to be like, find the best times to stream, pick those times, pick some great topics, find the categories that people are watching the most, hit those categories. You have Just Chatting, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Minecraft, and music, and maybe special events now. I'm going to go film myself taking a crap upstairs. I'm sure it's going to be a special event, so I'm kidding. I'm not. I'm being sarcastic. I would never do that. I think I should invest in a camera though. Maybe get a better camera. Mine's not that great, especially when it comes to the light. Like the light hits and yeah. 3 hours. This is 3 hour show I've been doing here on growth. And now one person has stopped by and said, hey, what's up? You want to talk about growth? I guess it's not important. Back to your regularly scheduled stunted growth. It's the Jer Show on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. Though I've never been to Spain, but I kinda like the music. So like according to these stats that I've looked at, it seems like I would be better off doing a music stream and just chatting. Even though it's not the right avenue, it seems like people that are using the music stream aren't necessarily doing music on the music stream. So if I do music in the music category, which is supposedly popular, it doesn't matter. It only matters if I do the music and the just chatting, or I could just chat about music. That I could do that. But who would join me? You know? I'd be sitting here like by myself all the time. My existence on Twitch with the show so far. I mean, so far it could change. Things could turn around as far as viewerships and content, and anything's possible. Like Led Zeppelin said, it's still time to change the road you're on. You know, when I'm not stuck in like a world where I'm completely ignored all the time. It takes time to catch on, and a lot of people don't even know I'm doing it. And then sometimes when I am doing it, people are like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And I think everybody goes through that, right? So, my bird is chirping next to the camera. He's cute as hell. I got chipmunks out, jumping up and down outside the window here. I like animals. If I had my own place, I might have more animals. I might have another bird or two. I might have a dog, a cat maybe. Not with a bird, obviously, but I hope if anybody did watch this today, I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something from this. If anything, it's not to do what I do, or you'll end up like me. But what I'm saying is, like, there could be growth if you look at the metrics. If you look at the metrics and you make decisions based on those, you can succeed. And this is why New York is now out of I believe, I could be wrong. A lot of Republicans disagree with me, but I think the reason that New York is out of its doldrums and its nightmare that was the pandemic is because we followed the numbers. And we did what the numbers told us to do. So I feel like I've been lost for a little while without the numbers. And I've been making decisions based on instinct and not numbers. And I'm grateful today to have found the numbers that I need. Twitch metrics has been a complete godsend to me this morning. I just wanted to share that with other people that like whatever you do in your life, I hope that you have growth in the fact that you need to look at the numbers because they are important. Data-driven decisions. If anything good came out of the pandemic at all, it would be that I was introduced to data-driven decisions. And I kind of wish that I followed statistics more than I did. To learn about how you read statistics, and then make decisions based on those statistics. So I actually bought a book that I'm going to start digging through in the next week or two. That's about that very thing, about statistics. I might even start doing it as early as this afternoon. Now that I have my new data in front of me. There's been growth. How much growth? Look at the statistics. That's how it's measured. You measure it. Managers measure. You can't manage what you can't measure. And I couldn't manage the stream very well because I didn't have the right tools to measure it with. But I do now. So if I've made mistakes, oh well, I hope I learn from them. If I've done things right, I hope that I keep doing those because if they work. But how do you know if they work? You look at the statistics. Hi, Birdie. He's so cute. He's rubbing his head on the camera. It's like his new way of itching him, taking care of his itch. You can't see him because his head isn't in the lens, but he's up there. He's there right now. Aren't you, Bird? You got itchies? Got itchy head? Yeah, you got itchies. Why you itchy so much? It's the Chair Show on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Feel free to subscribe to either one. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell the whole wide world that this kid is going to be an up-and-comer. He's a streamer. It's going to take off like you've never seen. It's just a matter of time, and it's going to get some traction. And it's going to be like a mushroom cloud. What you doing, buddy? Here, let me pull this back. Then you can itch yourself. There, itch yourself accordingly. When it comes to the parakeet, and I said there's been growth. Apparently with parakeets, like they're all different. Some of them will let you handle them. Some of them don't want you touching them at all. This one was the latter when I first got him, but I've spent time with him and he's letting me get closer. But I remember I was touching his belly and his back, and he would go and I would tell the people in the parakeet group, like, hey, I love the sound. And he goes, oh, that means he doesn't want you near him. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's like a little game we play. And they're like, nah, I don't know. Keep doing that. He won't let you touch him ever again. And I'm like, that's not true. And some parakeets will let you scratch their head only. Whereas this one does. This one's weird. Like, this one will not let you near his head. But he will let you touch his belly, which most parakeets will not ever let anyone near the belly. So it is what it is. What are you doing, bird? Yeah, I gotta take a picture of him sticking his head under the camera like that's like his thing. He likes to stick his head under there and just like it's weird. What are you doing? You itching your itchy head? It's funny, like he found something where he could actually itch his head onto, and now he's like loves it. He's like itching my head, itching my head, itching my head. All right, I think I've had just about enough of this 3-hour just chatting thing. Holy crap! I don't know if this stream grabbed onto the vast number of eyeballs that are watching other people and just chatting, but maybe it didn't. I will keep trying. I will keep experimenting. It will happen. It will pay off one of these days, even if I gotta keep taking a part-time job and keep a roof over my head until it does. I will not. I am not going to stop streaming. You will love me or you'll hate me. I don't know yet. Maybe both. Probably, maybe both. I don't know. But, having said that, my birdie's got his head stuck in there. All right. I'll see you. See you later. Thanks for watching if you did watch. No one probably did. It's just a bot usually. Another Twitch TV streamer or something. I feel like I should do some Fortnite later though, and it's weird because like I've out of all the days that I've looked at to stream or not stream, it seemed like Saturdays are the ones that don't really produce too much streaming like love, I guess. So I was gonna like maybe not stream on Saturday at all, but then when I found this new Twitch streams, Twitch metrics thing, I just couldn't help myself, and I changed my thought process there, and here I am. But now I'm leaving. Gotta leave. Gotta do some other stuff. Okay, goodbye. Bye. My bird says bye too. Bye, Sonny. Bye, Sonny.